And I'm just gonna talk all day. Ba-da-bum-bum-ba-dum. Hey, I think it's tolerable.
Yeah, it's probably fun.
Yeah, as long as I don't get too loud, which I will. That's just me, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like when you just randomly scream and it blows my eardrums out because I'm editing wearing headphones. Son of a bitch! Welcome back to the Bad Gamecast. This is Jake.
Jason.
And this time we played The Simpsons Skateboarding. Or did it play us?
Neither. It existed. Someone suggested we play it. So, you asked for it. We did it. We're here. Simpsons Skateboarding for the PlayStation 2. It's bad.
Yeah. Released November 2002. Developed by The Code Monkeys. Produced by EA. Other games released in 2002, you might be wondering. The Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, GTA Vice City, Super Mario and Sunshine, and I'm sure, Jason, you have one that you would like to add.
Oh, well...
I mean, we can get there.
I don't know if I want to add it now, because basically this whole review is going to come down to a comparison of this game, which came out in, what did you say, November 2002? And a game that came out just before that, in October of 2002. They released this game called Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, and it's a better game than this in every single conceivable way. And that's the end of the review.
All right, I wanna circle back around to that. So, the Simpsons Skateboarding, Springfield turned into a skate park for the annual skate tour.
Yeah,
there's your plot.
Yeah, that's it. It's, I mean, much like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, there's not really a plot. I mean, it's like, do some stuff.
Yeah.
Do sick tricks.
Here's a playground, go have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you have individual, like, missions within there, you know, you go all up to a guy and he's like, I need you to ollie 10 times. And you're like, that's dumb, but I'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
So you do it. And then some other guy's like, I need you to do some half-pipe transfers. And you're like, this is training level. Got it.
So this is similar to that in that, well, hold on. Let's start off with your playable characters. From the get-go, you have the option of Homer, Bart, Marge, and Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And you can unlock Nelson, Otto, Professor Frink, Krusty, and Chief Wiggum.
Is that everyone?
Yeah, no, that's everyone. Now, along with all the characters, they all have their own individual stats. You can also unlock skateboards for them, which don't change anything. Like, it just looks different as often as you see the underside of a skateboard.
As much as you see the skateboard.
There are 10 playable levels, 2 of which I think are actually like Simpsons, and the rest of them are... let me rephrase that. 2 of them you could tell are like actual Simpsons locations. The other 8 could be fucking anything.
Yeah, I mean, they're all Simpsons themed, but they're not like places that really show up in the show.
Well, like a couple of them are, but even then, like you can't really tell that's what it is. Like that's just what the place is called. Like you have Springfield Elementary and downtown Springfield, which like picture shit. You can tell that's definitely Simpsons. You know, like with the elementary school, the Quickie Mart, all this shit that's around there, fucking great. But then you have like Burns Mansion, which you're on the grounds most of the time, and like it's whatever construction site, because that's not generic as all fuck. Sir Puddalots, Krusty Lou Studios, which I meant to look up. I'm sure that's a reference in the show somewhere, but
yeah,
it's like a shitty movie studio. Like
I assume that's Krusty the Clown Studio.
Yeah.
Where they film all the stuff, but like maybe if I was a big Simpsons fan, I would really know the locations like super well, but I'm not. Like I watched The Simpsons growing up, right? Because it was like something they could put on the TV that like worked for everyone.
Yep.
But we didn't really watch it all that much.
I watched a lot of The Simpsons. And, like, outside of establishing shots, like, the insides of all of these places don't match. Continuing the stages, levels, what have you. Springfield Mall, Itchy and Scratchy Land, the Power Plant, and Springfield Gorge. And, like, Springfield Gorge doesn't have the fucking gorge unless I totally missed it. And, like, the fucking Power Plant, I mean, I guess there's the cooling towers, but, like... doesn't really look like everything's like weirdly proportioned anyway. Like, the cars are way too big, the doorways are way too big, the buildings are, like, smaller than they should be for everything being that size.
The buildings are not, like... As any character, you stand next to a building and you're like, this whole building is, like, 9 feet tall, total.
Yeah. With a door that's, like, 7 of that.
Yeah.
It's super weird. I mean, like, the cars are too wide, and, like, most of the cars are too squat, except for the semis, which are, like, 9 times the size of a normal semi. Like, they're fucking beastly.
You mean mobile walls?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no active plot, which is fine. We're not here for that, right? It's not a plot-driven game. It's a sport game loosely, you know, that's, I mean, what it is. If you were to categorize the skateboarding games, I mean, that's what you would call them.
No, definitely. Wouldn't it be like an extreme sports game?
Yeah.
I think that's what people call skateboarding.
But just in that, like, the playstyle is very similar. You know, sports game is often basically all sports game. You know, you're repeating different things, and, like, there's no plot really driving you along, but you do a lot of the same actions over and over to kind of get better at them. And this is the same way, where it's just like, oh, do all these tricks and...
Yeah, you're there for the activity of the game or sport,
yes.
Yeah.
There might be stuff stapled around the outsides, but you're there for the actual just activity that the thing says it does. In this case, skateboarding. And you missed out on not playing. So I played this, and then I got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 out and played them back to back and forth. You missed out on that experience.
I don't know that I could have gone back to play this.
It feels so much worse.
I imagine.
The first time we played it, because, you know, Bubsy was so recently, as well as what the fuck else have we been playing?
Brutal Legend.
Yeah, like, the controls didn't feel that bad, because, I mean, we're coming off some real duds.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the controls. But then playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, I was like, oh, it feels like I'm actually in control of my character. Like, I feel like I actually know what I'm doing, and I haven't even played in years. And I was like, oh, wow, this makes so much more sense.
So I've got, I was playing it in an emulator using a PS4 controller. And I could never get the, like, it's the normal face tricks, like Tony Hawk, triangle to grind, square to do your kickflips and shits,
Yep.
circle to do a grab. It's the same button layout.
Yeah, it is a very thinly pasted on Simpsons brand of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, except then it's just worse also in every way.
And, like, Tony Hawk's like a bicycle, like, you never really forget how to play it, right? And so I'm skating around. I didn't say it well, but
yeah.
You know what you're doing going in there. I'm skating around, and, like, it feels off. And for me, I could never get the L1 and R1 are to rotate when you're in midair, and L2 and R2 are to flip forward or backward, respectively. And I could never get the timing right to do any of that. And I know my timing was off because when you jump, if as soon as the wheels leave the ground, you don't automatically do a trick, then it says it's like late kickflip, late 360, late what have you.
Yeah.
Every goddamn time, which doesn't matter. But so, like, I could never get the timing right because I would try and do it like I'd try and jump off of something, go forward and do a front flip. Only when I would try that, I would just eat shit automatically on the lip of whatever I was trying to jump.
Because I had tons of issues, like, jumping properly.
Is it because all the momentum is weird and doesn't make any sense?
Yeah, you go to jump off something, and it doesn't feel right. You try to build up momentum, and you hold X, but as you hold X, it, like, kills your momentum.
Yeah, and instead of in, let's say, a better game, when you hold X and it gives you momentum, you are automatically always going forward holding X.
Yeah, because when you hold X, you crouch, and that, like, causes you to move forward. But in this game, you crouch, and that causes you to slow down, which makes hitting jumps real awkward.
Yeah, like, you have to hold up to move forward, and then to hold X to crouch so that you can do the jump, and then you jump as soon as you let it go. And getting that timing down is weird.
Yeah, but then you have to let go of forward. Otherwise, like, you're going to only be jumping forward. And if you want to do different tricks, you have to hit different directions. It's not good.
Yeah, no. And I could never understand how you go up, let's say you're in a bowl, right? Like, you go up one side.
Mm-hmm.
you come back down, you go up the other side, you get the same amount of air. Like, you didn't gain any momentum there. And you go up, like, the third time. And this time you shoot, like, 50 feet off in the air for no reason whatsoever. And then you come down, and you are back to where you were the first time. You just, like, randomly shoot way up. Or, even better, sometimes the first jump from whatever, I would get, like, a big air bonus. And I wouldn't be that high. And then every subsequent jump, I would be higher than that. But I wouldn't get a bonus again. So much like any of your open levels where you can do stuff. Each level gives you 3 options. You can do the skills school with a Z because it's cool.
Yeah, because it's super cool. And it's, I mean, that's just the, like, challenges, right?
Yep.
Yeah, which...
Challenges for the money so you can get upgrades.
Mm-hmm. They're real easy. I mean, it's do thing. Bleh.
Yeah, do thing repeatedly. Yeah, no. Stupid easy. Skate Fest, which is where you have unlimited time to explore a level. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have the activities. And then the timed contest where you get, 2 minutes?
I think that's right.
To do as many tricks and get the highest score as you can.
Yeah, time trial.
And, like, the Skate Fest has different shit that you could do, and I didn't hate that. Like, there's the horse where there's the big letters spinning around in the level you just have to collect. Or the collectible items for each character. Mm-hmm. Or the different random shit that you do in each of the stages. I think the Burns one pissed me off the most, where you have to just, like, skate by his missile launchers. Because, like, no matter what, like, I could never get the right path. You know what? No, motherfucker. That reminds me. One thing that really fucking irritated me about this is that your level progress resets with every character.
Yeah.
So, like, I was playing as Marge. Because Madge's giant hair makes it easy to get the letters when you're going around, or, like, any of the collectibles.
I get that, because I played as Bart the whole time, and, like, I would so often just fly right under most of the collectibles.
Yeah.
And have to turn around and then jump into them. Which is bullshit.
Yeah, I got through most of Springfield Elementary with Bart, and then I switched to Marge, and I'm like, oh, like, in literally half the time, I got through everything with fucking Marge that I wasn't getting with Bart, because of that goddamn reason you jump right fucking under something. But anyway... At least the money carries over between characters. That's cool, but, like, all my progress didn't. And, like, I don't want to replay through all of these stages with the characters. Like, I just want to get to the end and have it be unlocked. Although I will say the upgrades, because all of the base stats for all the characters are dirt. So every time you upgrade something, like, you can really feel the difference.
I think, like, it's another thing that it's literally just ripped from better games. And I can't even begin to describe how, like... And I'm going to sound like a parrot, and what's going to piss me off about this episode is I'm going to sound like a parrot, because I've just, like, that's the game. This came out a month after Pro Skater 4, and when I played that, like, the characters are noticeably different in that, and, like, you have a create a character option. Oh my god. I mean, like, that's standard nowadays, right? But, like, you just make a character, give yourself whatever stats you want. Like, you get to, add them up. So if you want to be real fast, you can be real fast. I'm like, that's so nice. Here I get to play as one of 4 characters until I unlock more. Woo.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about how fucking ugly it is. Like, you said it was proportioned weirdly.
Yeah, because it's hideous.
Even for a fucking PS2 game.
Yeah, it's hideous. It is really bad. I legitimately thought that this was, like, competition for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1. Like, I assumed it came out at the same time.
I would get that, because, like, if you would have told me that this was a knockoff Simpsons character game, because, like, all the characters, you can tell that's what they're going for, but none of them look quite right, and, like, they just stole lines out of the show and threw in for the repeated 5 canned dialogues that everyone fucking says are all...
yeah, which is really annoying. Like, you're Bart, and you eat shit constantly because you don't really feel like you're in control of your character, and he just constantly says the same things over and over and over again, and it's just so annoying. So it should surprise no one when I muted it after, like, the first level. It's not like the music was memorable at all.
If you played the entirety of the soundtrack for me and told me to pick which one is in the game, I would say none of them. Like, I couldn't tell you a single fucking track in it.
I can't remember. I played only one level, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Okay, I put some fucking time in, and, like, it's so forgettable background sound. And, like, even, like, because I was playing as Marge, and her voice lines are eventually super irritating, but generally also forgettable and not that bad, because she's not trying to be witty or some shit. She's just like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. Fuck yeah, Marge, get you some.
Which is actually an interesting thing, because growing up when I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, because I had it growing up, it got a ton of great reviews, so naturally we bought it, and it's a really good game. When I booted it up again to replay it, to compare to Simpsons Skateboarding, that soundtrack, though, just hit me with, like, a ton of nostalgia and a ton of just kind of, like, it's such an interestingly selected soundtrack. They just use a bunch of real-world songs. Just music, but it's almost all either this kind of, like, rock selection or rap.
Okay.
All
I fucks with it, sure.
Yeah, well, this is like the song I associate with it most in my mind, which is hilarious, is Anarchy in the UK by the Sex Pistols.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, right? Like, that's a thing. That's a song just in the game, and it just plays as you're doing tricks.
I mean, I think I put the most time in with Tony Hawk 2. Yeah, because, like, I remember playing 1, 2, and maybe 3. I don't think I've ever played 4. And so, like, when I think Tony Hawk music, Rage Against the Machine is the first thing in my mind.
Yeah, there's, like... So it is, it's a mix of Sex Pistols, Rage, System of a Down has a song on that one. I know they got AC/DC, Flogging Molly, and then, like, as I was telling you, it's like DMX, and, like, there's... I would look up the song. I should look up the song list. It's so interesting. And it informs a lot of, like, songs that I was like, oh, wow, that's where I know this from.
Let's see here. There's a fucking ton of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, AC/DC, The Cold, Flogging Molly, Less Than Jake, Muska Beats, The Offspring, NWA, Public Enemy, Run DMC, Sex Pistols, System of a Down.
Yeah, like, this is the playlist.
Yeah, no, this...
And it fucking bumps, my dude.
Oh my god, like... So, when I think, like, the Simpsons, it's like, the opening is this weird remix of the Simpsons theme. And, like, some of the levels are, like, they're more, like, poppy, and some of them are kind of, like... I'm pretty sure there's one that's kind of, like, reggae-ish?
When you play as... What's his name? One of the unlockable characters?
Otto, I assume? Which would be weird, because he's a metalhead?
Oh, at least that's when I switched to him, I noticed the reggae music. It might have just been the level, but...
I think it's just the level, because I played with few as Krusty just to try it out. And he's got a longboard, which is off the bat awkward. And he trips himself up on his giant clown feet, which is hilarious to try and skate with that.
That sounds like a good mechanic.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So, I mean, that's... Soundtrack-wise, Simpsons, completely forgettable nonsense. Boring garbage. Graphically, we covered. It looks bad. It looks PS1 era. It is unfortunate to look at.
I like how the mouth doesn't match the dialogue, but it's not even close. It's funny.
No, they clearly just, instead of trying to match, it's literally just like flap open and closed.
It's some Mr. Ed shit.
Yeah.
It's just lips a flapping and dialogue out of nowhere.
Yep. Just gives you that wonderful, what is the movie, ADR? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
You record lines afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
And so it gives you that wonderful feel where you're like, that didn't match what they were saying.
I looked up after I typed up all my notes and shit, and I saw reviewers at the time were complaining about the sound quality. And, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just Bubsy has ruined me for, like, hating on things. Like, maybe it sounds bad, but I don't think it sounded that bad.
I thought the extreme, like, repetition, because they don't have a lot of lines, but they use them constantly, like the weird narration.
Yeah, because you get Kent Brockman or Principal Skinner.
Yeah, and they just like talk at you while you're skating, but they say the same thing over and over.
Yep.
And so it's like you'll crash, and then for me, Bart would throw out a line like, oh, and then Principal Skinner would just be like, oh, you messed up. And then like that happened every couple minutes, seconds, whatever. And it was just really annoying. And as I said, all the other sounds were eminently forgettable. That overall sound design of the game, I would call grating and bad.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe after like about 10 minutes, I just tuned it all out. That very well could be.
Yeah, it doesn't bring anything of interest to the party. And it's such a weird, like, shovelware type game.
Yeah, and it's officially licensed. Like, they've got all the voice actors from the show, which is fucking weird for Simpsons what it is.
Did a ton of these, right? Like, Simpsons games?
Yes and no. Like, they're not all just pumped out crap. Some of them are pretty fucking good.
But there's... I'm looking, Wikipedia under Simpsons video game says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 that are not handheld, and there's a bunch more handheld ones.
Yeah, because, like, with the exception of this and what is it, Simpsons Wrestling, I think they're all considered at least okay. And I'm pretty sure people like Hit and Run, right?
I believe so.
I know, I think my brother had it. I never played it.
Yeah, there's Hit and Run and Road Rage, I think, is one that people probably like. Well, they probably like it more than this piece of shit, so.
I would hope so.
And so, I don't know, it feels like, yeah, they're using their Simpsons name to try to cash in on a market that they saw was growing, because the Tony Hawk games came out pretty quickly in succession.
Yeah.
Like, they released almost every year before releasing a game every year was cool.
Yeah, which is why by the time Tony Hawk 4 came around, like, people weren't as into it anymore, which makes this release super weird too.
Yeah, like, they're trying to use their IP that they're hoping will carry them and jumping on a bandwagon way too late and doing it poorly. So...
Poorly is an understatement.
Yeah, like... We've said, and like there's not much to the game, that it doesn't do basically anything well. It does a lot of things that other games do, and it just does them worse than those games. And so the only appeal that this game brings to the party is Simpsons, which I guess is the thing. Like, if you're afraid of your child listening to that rap music and getting into that extremeness of skateboarding, maybe you get them this one, but don't do that.
So you ready for recommendations?
I am. I'm fucking done with this.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Recommendation wise, yeah, it's even for a kid, I would just say just get like Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, or I'm sure there's better, newer skating games. There might not be, but like that's what I played. And I was, give you a glimpse of how old I am. I was, like 10, 11 when that came out? You can turn off some of the songs, but they'll probably just turn them back on if they want. But I don't know. I don't remember if there's any swearing in the songs. I think they might actually, like, skip and or bleep out actual swearing in the game.
Well, if there's DMX, you probably get those good barks, right?
Yeah, but I believe it's because it's rated T for teen, right?
T for teen. Well, it's so fucking extreme, man.
Simpsons Skateboarding is rated T for teen.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
For all the tit jokes in there?
I don't...
Like, what? For what?
I don't know. Because it involves skateboarding, and skateboarding, we all know, leads to...
sex, drugs, violence, and Satanism?
Yeah, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I mean, at least that's what this cover art is showing. I don't actually have... Did it seriously get rated T for teen?
All right, well, I want to say, I didn't hate this game.
Wrong.
It doesn't feel like that good. It's not fluid in any way, shape, or form. Not nearly as much as the game that it's ripping off. I did like the exploration, going around the levels, picking up the collectibles. There's a lot in it that makes you not want to do it, which we covered, so I'm not going to retread a bunch of ground here. And unless you're like a diehard Simpsons fan that's really into shitty knockoffs, I don't know why you'd bother. Seriously, just go play Tony Hawk. But if you're in a room and all you got's this, a PS2, and like an hour to kill, okay. Like, I didn't think it was that bad because it gave me, like, it just made me want to play Tony Hawk, but it kind of scratched that itch a little bit. Yeah, no. Recommendation's the same. Go play Tony Hawk.
Yeah, that's where it sits. It's a bad knockoff. I didn't enjoy playing it. I did enjoy that it made me play Tony Hawk again, so positives there, I guess.
Where's that on stream? Shit. Alright then, if we're done with the game, Jason, what do we do now?
Right now, we continue to search the internet for... Seriously, wow.
Searching the internet.
I mean, now is when we answer letters from listeners. Listeners, like you.
Hello, listeners.
Hello, listeners. You didn't send us anything. We told you last time. We need more stuff.
Ooh, you know what that means? We're coming for your pinkies.
Hands or toes?
Yes.
All right, I'm in.
Are we breaking them or cutting them off?
Yes.
Ooh, gonna make toe soup.
Anyway, as we were saying, we answer your thoughts, queries, questions. You can send them to thebadgamecast@gmail.com. We read them on air. And we don't got any in the backlog right now. So Jake apparently found a question. I assume that you just made this up. I don't know.
No, I did.
Sometime earlier today.
Uh-huh.
So we're gonna answer this, and then I might vamp about some random bullshit. So Jake decided this question should be: what is a game you guys play that you only play with friends and never solo? And I hope he had a thought in mind.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so let's hear your thought first.
I can think of a couple.
Okay.
Killing Floor 2.
Sure.
It's a game. There's a stage you fight through waves of zombies. Like it's a fine game. It's kind of boring solo, and you can play it with randoms, but that's not what I'm there for. Like I'll play it online with Alex or with my cousin.
I think I have it. I don't think I've installed it.
Like it's fun, and like if you're just trying to grind out some levels. Solo's not bad. Like for like when they release new maps, like I'll go through and play it solo just to run around and check it out. But I almost will never fuck with that. But Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Wildlands, I refuse to touch solo.
That was a lot of extra words there.
Yeah, it's a fucking mouthful. I only ever play that with Alex. You're in Bolivia, it's a big fucking sandbox, go do shit, kill the pygmy Bolivians or fucking whatever. There's like cartel shenanigans. But, like, I don't want to get ahead of him in the game, and he doesn't want to get ahead of me either, so anytime we find collectibles and pickups on the map, like, we can get them at the same time. I don't want to play it solo. It's much more entertaining trying to snipe dudes with him and just letting that clusterfuck play out. Because the game's about stealth. We are not stealth players. Coming guns blazing.
I get that.
Yep.
It's really bad. There's only one game that's coming to mind for me. Yeah. So I play a lot of things solo, like a lot. I don't know. I play things with people, but then like even things that I play with, like Monster Hunter or Borderlands.
Yeah.
I also play them by myself a lot.
Oh yeah, no. Most things I play solo, but anything with multiplayer, I'm usually okay playing with people as well, not just with people.
Even weird games that like are multiplayer, I've played by myself, and so it's just the only game I can think of is because of this stupid podcast.
Sure.
I'm supposed to stop talking about it.
Oh.
But I genuinely almost never played Anthem unless you were on. I couldn't stand playing by myself.
Sure.
I found it so boring.
I don't know. I was curious if you were going to say that 76 or Metal Gear Survive.
Ooh, 76 also falls into that category. Survive, I actually played a lot by myself.
I mean, like, outside of the story, but...
Yeah, I mean, like, because there's the story, and even beyond that, I played a fair amount just exploring that map and bowing people to death. Because guns are for quitters. I have a bow.
Fuck yeah. You can't pick up bullets.
Yeah, but you can pick up iron arrows. Pachoo, pachoo, pachoo! Game was goofy and dumb. But it was way better than, like, 76... I actually might have only played like 10 minutes of that game when you weren't around.
Holy shit, I get that.
Because I would just like load into the map and just be like, I don't care. What are you going to do? I don't know. You could build a base or capture a thing. And I'm like, yeah, but if I do and then I leave and then I come back, it's uncaptured. It's not like anything I do matters. Why would I care?
Yeah, there was a time in there... would I play like an hour or two without you, and then I didn't bother if you weren't, because it fucking blew ass. At least, like, if you were there to share the pain,
yeah,
it was not okay, but more tolerable.
Yeah, so, like, I think that's all these live service games that we keep playing for this stupid podcast. That's my answer.
Oh shit, Destiny 2.
Yeah, it's all these live service games that we keep playing for this podcast.
All right, well, we're gonna put a bow on this.
Yeah, I mean, we could technically do plugs.
What? No, that's what the plugs are for. But before you get your long ass thing, you can find us on Reddit. That's R the Bad Gamecast or You the Bad Gamecast. That's me. I'm always on there. You can find me on Twitter at Jake Prey. You can find the Bad Gamecast Twitter. That's at the Bad Gamecast. Any questions, thoughts, comments, concerns? Email thebadgamecast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook. That's Facebook, The Bad Gamecast. Hoodoo. What am I missing? Twitch. We're live Monday through Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. We play a variety of things. Our race is on Wednesday and Thursday. Come check that shit out at twitch.tv/The Bad Gamecast. I almost forgot what we were called right there. Jason, what else do we have?
And if you feel like supporting us in any kind of way, we do have a Patreon page. I would tell you how to find us, but I'm not actually sure because Patreon is a mystery to me. It's evolution. It's a mystery full of changes no one sees.
What?
We are now a wrestling stable. That just happened.
Oh shit, okay.
But seriously, if you want to drop us $1, a cent, $5, whatever, if you like what we do and you want to see more of it, we always could appreciate the help. It lets us pay for all these terrible games. That is Patreon, The Bad Gamecast. However you search that up, I don't know. Throw that into your Googs. Just figure it out, my dudes. I think that's everything.
All right, shit. For The Bad Gamecast, I've been Jake.
Still Jason. Sign off sounds.
Oh, man, I should make music. Well, new music.